What's up, y'all? It's your girl Gigi For The Win over here, representing for the Knucklehead Podcast. And if I love wrestling, and if you love wrestling, guess what? We love wrestling, baby. That's what we do.
Welcome to We Love. We just spotlight people that we love to see, we love to listen to, we love to like, post on Instagram, Twitter, and everything. Today we got somebody, she's in the wrestling community. If you're on Twitter, on Instagram, we're going for the win today. We got a knucklehead, 1-4 for the crew. We got Gigi for the win. How you doing today, Gigi?
Hey, yeah.
If y'all look in the bottom, give me a second. It's right here. People been asking. That's Maddy from Top Row Squishy joining us. Y'all know Maddy. Maddy been here. They like, yo, you don't mess with Maddy no more. Maddy got things going on. Y'all see Maddy making moves. Maddy, say what's up to the people.
What up, people? This is Maddy from Top Rope Squishy. Y'all already know who I am. Stop playing.
I don't know how the episode's gonna go. If y'all don't know Gigi, Maddy always matches everybody's energy. So I'm gonna get my first question out the way, and then I don't know. So Gigi, first question I always ask is, why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
Oh man. So I love wrestling for the art of it. And there's so much beautifulness, disasterness. You got to take the good, the bad, the ugly to go with all of it. Wrestling is just, to me, an all-around year sport. Yes, it is a sport. It's sports entertainment, but it's also a sport. And
oh, she's so cute.
How the heck did you get ketchup all over you? Mom life.
Yeah.
That's her ECW mark. No, that's her GCW mark. GCW. We're gonna write a whole story about this.
And then I forgot my words with it, and then I said, "Oh crap."
Oh, did you say "oh crap"? Go wash your art. Go wash yourself. So, sorry from that moment. It's a beautiful art to watch. It gives you a little bit of everything. It gives you that comedy. It gives you that. We all know it's scripted. Yes, wrestling is scripted. Yes, it's predetermined. Yes, but it's also extremely real. Why? Injuries are real. Okay. Sometimes promos, they're work, they're a shoot. Sometimes they just come straight from the heart, straight from the gut, and you feel it. Wrestling fans, the best way to kind of basically compare us to anybody, we're like soccer fans, but for pro wrestling. All right. We start the chants. We love controversy. All right. We love certain wrestlers. We hate other wrestlers, It's just an amazing community to be part of. And my start of wrestling actually started with my parents. My mom worked for a company that actually back in the day drew up the contracts for WWF, okay? That drew up contracts for Hogan, for Warrior, for Honky Tonk Man, for Hacksaw Jim Duggan, to Coco Beware, all these 80s wrestlers. And then my mom kind of just got my dad into it. And then I would watch wrestling events all the time with my dad. They will go to Madison Square Garden. They would get us the playbooks from Madison Square Garden from back in the day. And then eventually I went to my first wrestling event, I want to say in 96. And I also went, my first wrestling pay-per-view was Survivor Series when Rocky Maivia made his debut.
Whoa.
So I go way back.
Back.
Yeah. So I've been a wrestling fan all my life. And it's never going away. It faded away at one point in time for about 2 years, but that's because at WWE wasn't really trying to they weren't figuring out their life. They were trying to still figure out the product. But obviously it wasn't until after the Monday Night Wars and after ECW And after one night stand, it after a while, it was getting a little stale, and I fell back. But then I come back to New York because I definitely moved away for a while. And once I came back to New York, I was like, right, wrestling, Madison Square Garden house show. How much? I'm there. Let's go. And if anything, I love house shows more than actual like Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. I house shows are it for me. I recently just went to my first independent wrestling show, which I actually sponsored a match for Battle Club Pro.
Tell them the match you sponsored. Yo.
I sponsored a match between Brooke Valentine and Willow Nightingale versus Janaea Kai and oh my God, Jordan
Blade. Jordan
Blade. Thank you. I was like, I knew I fucked it up. I knew it. It was gonna be one of them. I fucked it up. Let me tell you, that match was possibly the match of the night. If it wasn't that match, it was definitely whatchamacallit, it was definitely the main event.
Swollen.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Trish Adora.
Oh, was it Trish?
It was Swollen Trish. Yes, sir. It was definitely Swollen Trish Adora. They were the main event.
Women's Crush Wednesday, you right.
Women's Crush Wednesday on 420.
Nice.
Which was one hell of a day. So the best part about that is that, me being a such wrestling fan, I've never been to an independent wrestling show, but I knew what to expect because of different multiple videos you can find on YouTube and different Instagram pages and posts and everything like that. It was very intriguing to me. For this being my first indie event that I've ever went to, I sponsored one of the best matches on the night.
Yeah.
And not only did I get to experience it for the first time, but my daughter got to experience it for the first time. And she was like, this is awesome. I got to high five all the women wrestlers. Oh my God. And then we went to the table of Valentine and Nightingale. And my daughter was just like, I loved it when you girls were dancing. I can dance too. And next thing you know, I see my 7-year-old kind of like twerking, I guess. It's not really twerking for a 7-year-old, but definitely shaking her booty. And then you got Brooke Valentine like, hey, girl, I got you too. And I'm like, this is such a dope-ass moment. Please do not be dancing like this in school or around other adults that's not me. Because then they're going to come with questions, and mommy ain't got time for that.
Well, so okay, you said it. So I followed Gigi for a while. Something happened, followed her again. Neither here or there. But when she sponsored that match for WWE, I was like,
You talking to me?
I'm talking about you. Yes, and when we went to the wrestling event in Brooklyn.
How that?
Wait, you just not supposed to talk to me.
Girl, go over there and finish your dinner. Oh, thank you.
That was a bite.
See, look at that. She talked about wrestling and her daughter kisses her. She's a good mom. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's right.
So yeah, when I saw she sponsored the match, I was like, yo, if you follow the pages, Thick and Juicy 2.0, Brooke and Willow, those my people. Janaea Kai Jess was on last week doing the spotlight with us. Jordan Blade.
Big demon. I love her.
Yes.
Mission assassin, you know what I'm saying? Gigi put her name on it. She enjoyed herself at the event. I said something about Knuckleheads. Then I'm gonna let you and Maddy talk about indie because y'all both are recently experiencing indie wrestling. Tell us a little bit about Knuckleheads before Maddy jump in.
Sure. Knuckleheads Podcast is always on Thursdays. We're live on YouTube at 9 p.m. every Thursday. The Knuckleheads Network has multiple podcasts throughout the whole entire week. These boys keep themselves busy. But on Thursdays, we definitely go ahead and talk about wrestling. We recap things that either happen, whether it's a pay-per-view event, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW for sure. Our love and hate for John Cena. Toe Tag, I know you love you some John Cena, right? You Hulk Hogan ass loving motherfucker. Anyway, I digress. But we're live every Thursday at 9 p.m. on YouTube. The link will always be in my bio, or if you find me on my IG at Gigi For The Win, you will definitely see on my IG stories that the link will definitely be there with basically the photo of the week. I know Thursday coming up, we have Tia, the pretty collector, who is infamously like this collection. She puts this shit to shame. Her shit is like pow, 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 pow. Like, y'all need to follow her. She's a crazy collector. And I'm just so excited to see like where her passion came from her first collecting wrestling to where she's at right now. Because when I mean there's no white wall there. There's just figures and figures and more figures. Wow. And it's insane. Oh man, I definitely like see shit.
Dang.
Listen, your collection and my collection, in all honesty, because I still got some of this over here too at the top. I got more shit up there.
Wow.
There's just a lot. There's a lot. All of our collections possibly put together does not equal the amount of shit that she has, and it's insane.
I'm coming for you. I seen you, but I know what you got. I might rival you, Tia. I'm just saying.
So it's very exciting. And we've been doing the podcast for over a year now. And, you know, we're just having a good time. Just a couple of knuckleheads talking about wrestling, you know. Every so often we will get our boy Kenny from the Call Up Podcast to join us. Dave from the Pro Show Wrestling as well. We'll have Liz. We had Liz on a couple of weeks ago from All Things Wrestling Podcast. You know, it's a wrestling community where we're all just trying to connect. We're all just trying to get out there.
Yeah.
And we're all just out here just trying to, you know, just enjoying this thing that we love that's called wrestling.
Wrestling.
Excuse me. Sports entertainment.
Sports entertainer.
Just in case Chris Jericho's watching, we got you, buddy.
The wizard.
You know.
So I don't care nothing about what she just said. This is
This is sports entertainment.
We're trying to please everybody. Even though nobody can be pleased in this wrestling community.
At all. Talk about fickle people.
Oh, man. Absolutely.
Stop it, Maddy.
All right. Fine.
No, stop it, Maddy.
I won't get into it. Fine.
We'll talk about it later. So, Gigi, you just hit end of your first indie show. Maddy, you just recently went to your first indie shows. I mean,
yes.
After going to the indie show, do you prefer the indie show, or do you still prefer to go to like the AEWs or the WWE?
Who are you asking?
Both of y'all.
Whoa. Go ahead, Gigi. You can go first.
you got an issue with something? Hold on. What you say, whoa for? What's up?
No,
So this is the thing. Okay. I've been to multiple WWE events. I would rather to go to, like I said, a house show of WWE than a televised show. Because if you've never been to a televised WWE show, let me put you on real quick. When y'all go on commercial on TV, we go on commercial too. The lights get dim. There's no action going on. We're watching similar promotions and nonsense and bullshit for 3 hours. Okay, there's nothing interesting whatsoever that is happening on these televised WWE events, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. I've been to WWE NXT Black and Gold. Okay, because now we have to, I guess. Because fuck 2.0. I'm not too crazy of a fan of 2.0. It's slowly working its way back to me, but there was no need to turn the whole NXT into a Saved by the Bell logo type shit with all these fucking colors that the Rockers was wearing back in the days. Okay, I'm just saying. There's no need. And also 2.0, we couldn't figure out something else but NXT 2.0. Did we not remember what happened to Matt Hardy 2.0 and version 1? I'm just we just don't need that. We don't need it. It could have just been left NXT. Nonetheless, I digress. I do believe that a lot of good talent is coming out of NXT now. I'm slowly getting back to it. Now, AEW. I've been to 2 AEW shows back to back. One was a basic made-up show from when the pandemic happened. And that was supposed to be Blood and Guts. And I didn't get a chance, obviously, because the pandemic happened in 2020 with Blood and Guts. So I recently went to one last year, and it was in Jersey. And I wasn't too fond of my first AEW experience in Jersey.
September?
Yes.
I was there. I was there.
You was there? For it was like the made-up show, right?
I was there. It was the show that was supposed to happen, but we didn't get Blood and Guts. We were supposed to originally get Blood and Guts.
Right. And that was the made-up show for it. Their audio was horrible there. Like MJF was cutting a promo, and where I was sitting and I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
Well,
I don't understand.
Booing him. We were booing the shit out of him, so you couldn't even hear him.
Granted, we were booing him. Absolutely. But even when other people were cutting promos, I couldn't fully understand them. Their audio was terrible. Now, the following week I went to was the one in Queens.
Oh, you went
and
to
they
that
had it in yeah. So I went to the made up one because I was made up. And once they announced that they had it in Queens, I was like, I'm getting tickets. I am going. It's in Queens. Fuck yeah. I don't have to travel to Jersey. I'm going to stay here. I'm like, I don't travel to Queens, but for AEW, I'm going to travel today in Queens. I'm going to make my way. And it was such a spectacular event in Arthur Ashe Stadium. The matches, to me, my favorite match, and I mean, we had Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson that night, and that went into a draw. Yeah. And I think that was the first draw that ever happened in the career of AEW for Bryan Danielson. Probably. The second one was with Adam Page.
Yep.
So I was there for that. That match fucking blew it off. But for me, I'm kind of biased because I love me my Lucha Brothers. And the fact that we had the Lucha Brothers and then Santana and Ortiz tag team up together for an 8-man tag. I mean, the roof blew off when Santana and Ortiz, like when their music hit. It's like this is as close as home as these boys are going to get in New York, and we're performing in New York. And God damn it, we're gonna fucking show it to these guys that we appreciate the shit out of them, and they did phenomenal.
I wish I would have gone to that one.
That was so good, such good shit. No pun intended to Vince McMahon there. But going now, fast forward to my indie event. So I only been to one, and I don't want to kind of put. I love indies. I love how easy it is to interact with these wrestlers, and after obviously the match is over, you know, some could stay in character if they wanted to, but for the most part, they're so down to earth. They're so cool. And especially when they see fans that's like my daughter's age, 7 years old fans, they're just like, absolutely, we're doing this for the kids. And especially for Women's Crush Wednesday, It was just the women's that was basically the main event of the whole show. The pre-show was basically the guys.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the guys started it off and the women ended. And it was dope. But to see that and to have that connection, you don't get that in AEW. You wouldn't get that in WWE.
Correct.
I would need to go to another indie show to kind of really give my assessment on indie shows. My one thing is that obviously for indie shows, you have to be there way early, because if not, you're asked out on a seat. You'll be standing up the whole time.
Or in the back.
Or in a spot. I definitely felt my inner rage coming out at one point, because I was sitting in a spot where, it's kind of in the back compared to where all the other chairs was at. And after a while, there was like a fucking tower of people just blocking my view. And my daughter was like, I can't see nothing. I'm just going to go on my tablet. I said, nah, hold that. We'll be right back. What are you going to do? I'm going to tell them to move. So I went, pretended to throw something out in the garbage. Well, I did throw something out, but, just use that as my excuse. And I said, hey, hi. So we can't see back there. And, it would be really nice if I can see what you guys are watching, but I can't see nothing, and neither can my daughter. So can you guys, I don't know, figure out somewhere else to stand? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. And then they look back at the kid. The kid's looking at me and like kind of looking at, why is everybody fucking looking at me? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then they moved away. And I was there with my boy Kenny from the call up, and we met up with some of our other peoples there. And Kenny was like, yo, I found a good spot. There's some seats here for you and Riley if you want. Just come on over. She'll be able to give the wrestlers high fives here. And, she can really experience, this awesome event. And I was like, all right, cool. So we kind of, migrated over from one table to the chairs and stuff. And that's where my daughter just like, oh my God.
Yes.
I can really high five them. I'm going to touch them. I'm going to high five. Swole gave her a high five. Trisha Dora gave her a high five. You got Thick and Juicy giving high fives to my kid and dancing with her afterwards. And it was such a feel-good moment. So the feel-good moment, definitely, I will always, from that one experience, I will go more towards indies. But, man, I'm such a fan of AEW. Like, to me, that they go hand in hand. WWE, it's nice, but it's not top tier anymore. The quality is not top tier. The wrestling is not top tier. Okay.
I'll take your word for it, because I don't watch WWE anymore.
And that's what happens.
So
the voted fans automatically get AEW is around. Yeah. We all did.
Yeah. And
who hasn't grew up on WWE?
Yeah.
For a long time it was just the same.
You didn't grow up on it, Trey?
I grew up on NWA, WCW.
Oh, okay. Well, I was watching
My first
WWF
event was the Great
WWF
American Bash 1989. That's the first wrestling event I ever went to. That, I vividly remember. I remember some other stuff, but...
Yeah. I feel like there's something from each to take. So, yes, at the indies, well, I'm talking about like indies versus like actual televised shows. When you go to like one of those big shows, there's really like a big feel there, and you have that huge crowd and everything's bigger. So I do like that experience, but I also enjoy the indie experience because you get personal with these people, and like you said, you get
it's more intimate.
Yeah, you're like a part of the show, especially like if you're in the front or anywhere near the front, you're like a part of it. And in the beginning, if you get there early, you can talk to the wrestlers. If after the show, you can talk to the wrestlers, which you cannot really do unless you pay for it with like AEW and WWE. But I like them both, so I wouldn't want to give up one or the other. I like them both. I like both experiences. Oh.
If I'm the same way, but if we're gonna go for a televised experience, like
AEW, yeah, my
AEW.
husband went to a WWE show. He's been to Raw, he's been to SmackDown, and he told me the most annoying thing is when you're there and they go to commercial breaks and the wrestlers just freeze, and then all of a sudden they're having a conversation as though they're not wrestling against each other. You're like,
yeah, they're having a full blown conversation with the ref.
Yeah,
they're just like looking at. The best part about it, and this is the best thing in AEW, when they go on commercial break, Justin Roberts is shooting this shit with people. Like, hey, I like your side. Hey, yeah, we're just talking shit over here, and it's like you keep the ball rolling. It's not to say it's total nonstop. All right, it's not TNA, but the show itself is just a nonstop. It just keeps going, and it's a steady flow where it doesn't make you feel like you're there on a job. WWE makes you feel like this is a 3-hour shift, and this is like the longest fucking shift of my life. When can I go home? This is dumb. I'm out. You know, and it's. I mean, granted, you don't watch WWE, but for those who did watch this past Monday, they ended Monday Night Raw with Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory doing just a gun show. No match. Maybe a little bit of dialogue. For what? For what? I don't understand the logic behind it. There was no reason to do all of this. Showing my muscles. Showing your muscles too.
Oh my god!
You're strong. You're strong like
muscles. Look at those muscles.
Look at you.
Get out the way. This is my podcast.
Oh.
My podcast now.
So this is Raging Riley.
This is my podcast now.
What? Get out.
Hi,
Riley. Podcast. Maddy said hi, Riley. Hi.
And by the way, this is my podcast, not Mommy's podcast.
Oh. The takeover.
Go finish eating your food and jumping around. The takeover. This is my takeover. This is my NXT takeover.
2.0.
So me and WWE, Dr. Naomi, I miss you.
Word.
Roman,
Mommy, the champion.
when you not on, so I only saw the Usos tag match, and I believe that. Oh, and Seth and AJ. I will sleep after that. So watch what you can watch on WWE. YouTube is good too. They got the shows on there. You better watch it.
I'm gonna catch it. I didn't catch the full show because
you don't have to.
work reasons. I by the time I got back to my crib, it was probably like 9 p.m. and I put it on, and I don't know what was happening at 9 p.m. But I just I looked at it and I was like, nope. I'm gonna go watch AEW Elevation on YouTube now.
Listen.
And this is essentially what I did. I first and foremost
watch what?
AEW Evolution? No. It's not Evolution. The YouTube show.
Today is dark.
Today is dark, but it's called Dark Elevation.
Elevation's on Mondays.
I thought they had a new show.
Elevation's on Mondays. Okay. Dark is on Tuesdays. Dynamite is on Wednesdays. You know what that means. And Rampage is on Fridays. I got this one trained. Like,
you know what that means.
I put it in my child's head so many times that, like, in the morning, she's like, Mom, it's too early for that. And one day, like, I'm getting her ready. It's Wednesday. I'm not even bothering her with anything. And she's like, Mom. I'm like, what? She's like, it's Wednesday. And you know what that means. I was like, get your ass away from me right now. I'm so mad that you did this before I did it to you. Get away from me. But she does it. And she tells people at school, it's Wednesday. And you know what that means. And then they're like,
no, they don't.
And she's like, no, it's wrestling. Like, she gives them this face like, bitch, how do you not know this?
Because she doesn't understand that wrestling really is a niche and that it's really not a humongous community. We're a small community of wrestlers. So let me ask you something. With everything that you do, you know, with your podcast and everything you do with wrestling, what is the most exciting thing that you do? Or that you find exciting?
Oh, man. Just enjoying the product as is. This is the thing. I adapt to my surroundings. I love everything that is wrestling. I love the drama that comes with it. I love the funny skits, Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. I'm kind of hoping that Damien Sandow comes out as Elias because that would be perfect. But my favorite, I just love talking about wrestling. I can talk about wrestling all day. The old, the recent, what's to come of next. You know, everything about wrestling, again, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. It's just so fun to talk about. And especially when you have another wrestling fan that's like either A, shares your same opinions with you, B, has different opinions, but at the end of it, will always love to talk about it.
Absolutely.
And I always find it to be like the best thing ever when you find someone like, oh, you like wrestling? You're one of us. Oh, I found my people. Bye.
Let me ask you, if you could go back in time, is there any possibility that you would have wanted to be a wrestler? Because I'd be thinking about that shit all the time.
So I have taken some bumps. They're not fun. And I believe I would be a great manager, advocate, whatever. We'll fall underneath the Paul Heyman umbrella because he's just a genius, I believe. Maybe not back in the day with money-wise, but when it comes to the pro wrestling business, he's a genius. And who wouldn't want to listen to Paul Heyman? I think if I was much, much younger, maybe early 20s, just coming out of high school, and it's just like my body is able to do things and stuff.
Yes.
Sure. Why not? I remember, it's so funny. I remember I felt like I missed my calling on this day. There was a block party happening on my block, obviously, and I'm on the phone with my brother Lamar. He's my brother from another mother, and he is a high school friend that we bonded because of wrestling. And I'm on the phone. I'm shooting this shit. I'm telling him I'm hungover. And that come through, mom's cooking, there's a block party going on, might as well start drinking all over again. And as I'm on the phone with him, some random person comes up to me. And he was like, excuse me, I have a question, super random, but would you like to be part of our wrestling show? And I was like, what? What? Would you like to be part of the wrestling show? My brother on the other line. Tell him yes. I'm coming in like 20 minutes. Don't you tell him that you'll be there. Let's go. And I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah. Lamar, you better be here in 20 minutes, motherfucker. What are we doing? And they put me in this Pocahontas outfit. I have pictures of it. I can go and grab it for you because I just got them from my mom's house about a month ago, and I promised people I was going to post it, and never got a chance to because life. But they put me in this little Indian Pocahontas outfit, and the wrestlers that I was coming out with was a Taino Indian, right? And here I am in my little flacahantis, all right, because I'm a skinny as fuck. Flacahantis is out here and ready to give people the chancleta of death. And I was like, I can hit somebody with a chancleta if you want me to. Giving ideas here to the wrestler, and the wrestler's like, that sounds so good. We can do that. And then the other wrestler that he was basically going to take the L, right? He's like, no, we're not going to do that. Because then the people on the block think that they can do that. And we don't want that to happen. And the guy that, I'm on the side with, he's like, you know what? You're right. I remember about the last time we did a block party and it got a little out of hand. And I was like, this is real? Like, yes. Wait, you two are... And then I think that's, like, we all knew that wrestling was, scripted. But to see it actually go down where one wrestler is talking to his opponent, that's going to happen. And they're going, like, they're talking about, okay, so we're going to do this first. And we're going to do this. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it into this. Like, they're doing their play-by-play. And I'm standing there being a fangirl of two independent wrestlers that I have no idea who they are. Okay. Just like looking at all of this, and I'm like, this is so awesome. And there was another girl with me, and she's like, yeah, this is what I do all the time with my uncle. And I'm like, your life is awesome. Oh my God, your life is so awesome. And she's like, it's all right. And I'm like, it's wrestling. How can you not love this? She's like, well, I've been doing this all my life. So it's like kind of, secondhand nature and whatnot.
Not everybody loves wrestling like that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So Gigi, I got one more question, then I gotta go. What is your ultimate goal with what you do? Like, where do you want to be in like 5 to 10 years? Like, where do you feel, if not already, that you have reached success?
I want so much success from my small business, which is basically For The Win, Gigi For The Win. We sell the merch. We will be selling more fitness gear. I am trying to make sure that I have my small business be so successful where I can quit this bullshit ass 9-to-5 job and be able to pass it on to this beautiful face right here, who is being such a pain in my butt right now. But in your butt. With this day and age of generation of these young kids, she's smarter at 7 years old than what I was at 7 years old. All right. I ain't had no goddamn tablets. I had the stoops in front of my crib with a boombox, listening to music.
Sweet.
These kids nowadays are so much smart and so advanced at their age that what I want is success. So I am not rich, I'm wealthy. Not only wealthy with money, but wealthy in health, wealthy in how I feel in life, and how I wanted to aspire onto the greatness of this beautiful child that's, giving me side notes. That's where I'm at. Like, that's the mindset that I have going on for myself. Can you, not do that? I would greatly appreciate that. Who's your favorite wrestler? We're talking about wrestling.
You.
I'm not your favorite wrestler.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a wrestler.
Yes, you are. See, that even says Gigi.
Yes, that's a Coke bottle that says my name on it. But who's your favorite
You.
boy wrestler?
You.
I'm not a boy.
A girl wrestler.
Who's your favorite boy wrestler? No? Nothing? Tenemos cero miedo.
Espérate.
All right. Gigi, it was so much fun.
It.
I gotta jump.
My favorite girl wrestler
so much
is my mom. She's my favorite girl wrestler.
She's right there on the mic. She's like, we're just gonna do this like this. But
bye.
She's saying bye.
Bye.
We here for the win, baby. This is what we do. For the win. That's what we do.
We've been here for a little bit. Go to one of our last spots to get out here. Call this put yourself over.
Going for the win, baby. All day, every day. No matter what life throws at you. No matter how many times you get knocked out. Fuck all these people, all these haters, and all these Debbie Downers that says you can amount to nothing. You tell them to go fuck themselves, because in this life, we go for the win, baby. This is what we do. Gigi for the win is not just Gigi. It's everybody. Okay, everybody's here for the win because we have one goal in life, and that's to get the hell up out of this poverty-ass world. Okay, we are here to be wealthy. All right, not rich. Rich people end up going broke. Wealthy people end up having wealth for as long as they want it to be. For the win, we go for the win, for the wealth, and for everything that you believe in, that what you stand for. Because fuck the man, be the man. Ric Flair taught me a little something like that.
Go ahead and give me your social media, how they can get one of the. Where my For The Win shirt at, Gigi? How can I get a For The Win shirt?
You can definitely catch your For The Win shirt at www.gigforthewin.com. You can also catch it on tpublic.com/Gigi For The Win. You can find me on Instagram at Gigi4.thewin, Twitter at Gigi For The Win. And there you're able to find me, and my link tree is connected to both Twitter and Instagram accounts. So you can go ahead and find your merch, find me on the other social medias. You can find me on my Facebook business page as well. I am here to stay. Ain't nobody dropping me off like a bad habit. Not this time around, baby. Y'all were able to get off my old Instagram with 2.K file. You know what? It's all right. Y'all can go ahead and do that. This empire, though, we building it stronger. We're going to make sure that the building is raised all the way as high as the New York skyscrapers. And there's nothing that's going to stop us. Absolutely nothing.
If you don't know Gigi, you should know Gigi. Nothing going to stop her. I don't know. People come on the show and then you see them doing other stuff. I don't know what's going to happen with Gigi. We going to see. But I am going to try to get her into more indie wrestling and some more people. She mentioned Willow. So before we go, if y'all didn't know, Willow just got announced that July 13th, she will be making her first trip to Japan, doing a little tour over there to wrestle. Shout out to Willow. You love to see it. You cut a whole promo when I said put yourself over. And I love that about you. We love wrestling. Gigi For The Win. We're going to do some business deals. We're going to make some things happen. We're going to get her name out there. If y'all don't know her in like 6 months and y'all do know her, we going to get her name up there, because that's what we're about in this community. I don't help everybody out. Y'all know I'm to myself. I'll be in my own little world. But sometimes I come out the world and see people and be like, I push for the women to do things, because, you know, y'all men got to respect the women out here more. And women's wrestling is really the only thing that's keeping me around at this point. And I've told y'all that many times, because I've seen every iteration of a match they can have with the men. So who cares? Not like that, though. But
I feel you, though. I know. It's so true.
Like I tell y'all, dudes, I'm not here for y'all. I'm here for the women to see what they doing. They can wrestle. They wrestle better than half y'all men out here, and they're about their business. Because, you know, if you want to get something done, as I was told a long time ago, get you some women. Get you some diverse women if you want to get some things done and watch everything move. But everything that Gigi told you, you can follow her on her link tree. All be in the description. If you own the YouTube version, go click on the podcast version and listen to it. If you're on the podcast version, go to the YouTube and watch it. But other than that, like I always say, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too street.
Wrestling and you love wrestling, then we. You're not here, you missing out. Is this show?